Hello everyone. Thanks for joining me today. This is Loralee Humpherys and you are on my channel Faces of Freedom. This is a place where you can come, where I share with you things that I've discovered in my life and things that I've read and learned about what keeps you stuck and bound in what may feel like constriction or perhaps even enslavement, and how you can free yourself from it. All right, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about one of the things, the systems in our society that greatly entrenches the populace into a feeling of disempowerment and smallness and limitation. And that is our healthcare system. So I'm sure that you are well aware, you probably experienced disastrous effects or painful results yourself. You know someone who does. We all know people who have suffered needlessly at the hands of sloppy medical procedures or erroneous things or diseases like cancer, diabetes, heart disease, the things that are the scourges of our society. And not to mention the high costs that bury people financially under medical bills. So we can all agree pretty much that the healthcare system in the United States, in America, the last several decades, has become an outright disastrous train wreck. And so I wanted to just talk a little bit about that and how you can start to rethink and how you view it, so that you can start to make different choices and find a greater sense of freedom for yourself. Okay, so when we look at the healthcare system, the one that we currently have, it has been in place for over 100 years, as we all know. The big pharma, the allopathic conventional medicine system, the American Medical Association, that started in the late 1800s, early 1900s, well over 100 years now. So that is something we have all been born into. And so I want to really make this point of it's something that we have inherited. Other people, other groups of people, other agendas, people in power, they all created that and imposed that system that we now call the healthcare system on our society well over 100 years ago. And so now, many decades into this, then we're seeing the effects of it. But what I want you to keep in mind and really embed this into your head is that the effects, the results of so much of the conventional medical system that you see today is precisely and exactly what that system was designed to create and maintain. It's designed to make money for certain special interest groups, a certain sector of the population, which we are all recognizing now. It's about making money for the medical industrial complex and big pharma. And how do you do that? By making people sick and keeping them that way. And then introducing to them drugs, surgeries, radiation, invasive test techniques and things to exacerbate the problem and make people more sick. So I'm sure if you're watching this channel, then you're aware of a lot of this, but I just want to fine tune a few things for you. Namely, just recognize it's a system designed by other people with specific intentions in mind, a specific agenda, a specific outcome that they wanted for their purposes. And it's producing exactly what they wanted to create. Okay? So that being said, think about this in terms of it's a construct of the mind. A group of people got together, used their power of mind, their co-creative abilities, their resources, and they created a system and they enrolled you in it. and told you many things to keep you in it, to keep your loyalty to this system going, which then keeps their system, their creation alive and functioning according to what they want. Okay? So I want to make that point very clear. So here we are, we're born into this system. We've inherited it. We're experiencing the disastrous results of this train wreck that's called the medical system, the healthcare system. Granted, it has its virtues. It has its good points, and I'll get to that in a minute. But by and large, it's creating more sickness, more cancers, more disease, more obesity, more diabetes, more heart problems, more people addicted to drugs. You know, the list goes on and on. You can look up statistics of how the health in the population is today versus how it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and it could shock you at how rampant poor health is becoming. And again, I want to reiterate, that is an intentional objective of what the system is that we have today. So how do they keep you enrolled in that? What do they tell you to keep you plugged into, giving your loyalty, your energy, your money, your life force to keeping this system alive? One of the biggest things that they tell you is that your doctor is God. Your doctor knows everything because they've spent all this money going through to this little school whose curriculum has been prepared and governed and controlled by the pharmaceutical companies. Note that, if you don't already know that, that's the curriculum of the medical schools in this country today. They're funded and run and overseen by people from the big pharma companies to ensure that the curriculum supports their drug-based therapies as opposed to other things. So we are taught that the doctor is God because he's gone to this school, learned all this stuff that has been supported and paid for and sponsored by the drug companies. He's put out a ridiculous amount of money to get through medical school, so he can now wear this white lab coat and presumed to be this authority over you. So from day one, we've been taught that. Now I want you to think about, what does that do to you? It takes away your power of choice. It takes away your autonomy. It takes away responsibility for your own self. It takes away your power. As long as they can convince you that the doctor is God and is the authority and knows better than you about your body, then you'll continue doing that. You'll continue to see yourself as less than and inferior. Therefore, you will do whatever the doctor tells you to do, buy the drugs, take the surgeries, whether or not they're even needed, do all the medical procedures without question. And you may not be one of them, but I'm pretty sure that you would know or have heard of people in our society who still buy into this. Very, very much so. So thankfully, people are seeing through this little story, gaining their freedom, again, becoming a faces of freedom, taking back their control of their bodies and their health. I want to go back to something I said earlier in this video. The current construction of the medical system is a result or product of mind, of mental creation of other people. So for you to take your power back, to unplug from this system that is killing people literally. Did you know that the number one cause of death in this country is iatrogenic disease, iatrogenic caused disease, or doctor-induced diseases, or deaths, sorry, tripping over my words. Iatrogenic deaths, doctor-induced, where people have done exactly what their doctor told them to do, taken the drugs, did the surgeries, they died on the operating table or something, complications of whatever the medical treatment was. That is the number one cause of death, above cancer and heart disease. They don't really want you to know those statistics, but the AMA has it in their journals. Go look it up. It's been that way for a while. So, to regain your power, your choice, your control over your body again, how would you do that? You use the power of your mind in the same way that the groups who created the medical system created it with their minds. So, how you do this is you start to look at, if you were to have the ideal health, the picture of health, what would that look like to you? Get an image in your mind of what you want. What would that look like, feel like? Can you have a picture? Go find some pictures in some magazines of body types and constitutions that are similar to yours and start constructing a picture. Do some research. Educate yourself. Get this image in your mind for you of what you want, of what it means to have your own peak health. It would be different from anybody else because it's you and your body. That's one of the biggest, most powerful things you can do in taking back control of your health and your life and your medical bills is to create this own image, develop the strength and will and discipline to create your own results, regardless of all the voices outside around you, including your family. Because again, it's your body. No one knows your body better than you. You are the one who lives in it 24 hours a day. No one else does. You are the one who decides what you put into your body and onto your body. You are the one who decides how you spend your money, on what products, treatments, modalities, healthcare practices that you will subject your body to. And sadly, many people subject themselves to horrific protocols with disastrous results, as we know. So, get the thought wrapped around your head that you and you alone are in control of your body because you own it. Your doctor does not own your body. Your doctor does not live in your body. So how could your doctor even possibly begin to claim that he's an authority over your body, over you? Especially when he doesn't even spend more than 5 minutes with you in the treatment room. Let's think about this a bit. All right. So, get an image of what true optimal health is for you. No one else, you. And start to construct a picture of it. And then start to lay out a direction or a path of what you would need to do in order to create that. It's reclaiming your innate, inherent ability to co-create your life. That by buying into the stories of the medical system, of them telling you that the doctor knows better than you, you have given that power away to them. And allow them to continue creating what they want, with the outcomes of the medical system that is producing the disastrous results in our society today. So take your power back. Reclaim your ability to create your own your own health, and that outcome of your health and your choices. Learn different things. Push the edge of your comfort zone and try new things, new modalities, new foods, new herbs, extracts, more holistic things. There's a lot of things out there. And I'm sure you're doing a lot of this already. But I just want to remind you of this again and check to see, do a self-evaluation to see, are you still plugged into that old health system that's really actually doing you more harm than good? How would you know? Just think about your feelings about what comes up for you while I'm having this conversation with you, as well as when things go on in your body, what thoughts automatically pop up? What feelings? Are there fears, concerns? Obviously, you need to take care of something. But the degree to which you are still plugged into a system that is designed to make you ill is the degree to which you have an emotional charge about it, and the ways and the areas in which you do. Okay? So use that as your barometer of how emotionally connected and how emotionally loyal are you to that conventional healthcare system that's creating such a disastrous train wreck in this country. All right? So, not saying it's all bad, as I mentioned before. It does have its uses. It does have its purposes. If you got in a car accident and you needed to be scraped up off the side of the road, or emergency care, traumatic care, that is where the medical system in this country is the most, it excels at that. That's its forte, its strong point. So by all means, use that as necessary. When it comes to lifestyle problems and diseases that are long-term and chronic, that are a direct result of your thinking, of your diet, which is what the majority of healthcare problems and expenses are, that's where the dysfunction lies. So to, again, unplug from all of that, create your own image of what you want. Go do some studying on your own, which I'm sure you probably already started to do. The biggest thing I can tell you on this too is, in your studying, go back and look at traditional ancient wisdom. It's wisdom wise for a reason, because people did what worked. They taught their younger generations what worked. They passed that wisdom and knowledge down for generations of thousands and hundreds of years. If something didn't work, it wouldn't still be in use after 5,000 years, as it is in Chinese medicine or Ayurvedic medicine. Sadly, the tradition of healthcare and all that wisdom and knowledge from European countries, the Western culture, was again destroyed, buried, twisted, turned around, so that the current system of the allopathic medical drug-induced cut, burn, and poison system could be in place. Again, you can do some research on that to find out what they did at the beginning of the 19th century or 1900s to eradicate a lot of those modalities and doctors and natural holistic healing things that was very rampant and prevalent, and that people were gravitated to more than the drug doctors back in the day in the 1800s, early 1900s, because those things worked. That's what people did for thousands of years. If it didn't work for that long, they wouldn't have continued to do it. Instead, we had this this other system that has been injected into our society with the results of drugging, burning, poisoning, making people ill, overweight, for the sake of profit, for the big pharma and medical industrial complex. So that's something you probably are already aware of, but I just wanted to reiterate that to you, as I mentioned. So learn to take back your power, learn to identify where you're still plugged into a system that is not doing you any favors, and create your own image and vision for what you want for your own self, for your own health, and how that can enhance your experience and your expression of greater life, energy, vitality, longevity, and ultimately love and respect for you and your body. When you have that as your guiding post, as your big ultimate intentional thing, then everything that will fall underneath that you will discover and find, as long as it's in alignment with that highest value of giving you more life and light and love and respect for yourself, then you can be assured that you're on the right path. That's good for you. Taking back your own power, using your own mind to create what works for you, rather than being plugged into an agenda and a system that other minds created for what they wanted to produce, not you. All right? So that's my thought for today on wellness. Hope you can find value in it, and share this video with someone who you think could benefit from it. My website is LoraleeHumpherys.com. You can also go there to see me, as well as on my Facebook page, which is Faces of Freedom, and under my name also, Loralee Humpherys. So go there, visit me, leave comments, ask questions, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.